Irene Alice. I'm from Kitui County, and I'm currently studying at Grand Valley State University doing my master's degree in data science and analytics. I relocated to US in August last year, 2022, to start my graduate studies, and so far it has been good. Back in Kenya, I did my undergraduate from Moi University in project planning and management, and despite being a first class honor student, I couldn't even secure a good job back in Kenya. I ended up like working in a construction company, doing something that I didn't like, but I did what I did to survive. I heard about Kenya Lift program from a friend who introduced me to the program, and bearing in mind that the kind of job that I was doing, I wasn't making enough. I had to save like for a year to join the program. I did my GMAT. I got a good score of 550, and then I started application to schools. I was more interested in doing my master's in IT, which was my area of specialization back in college. So the program actually introduced me to a couple courses in IT, and I ended up like being interested in data science and analytics. So the application process was easy. After passing my GMAT, I did my statement of purpose, and then I got admission to Grand Valley State University. Like the program catered for the application process and everything until the moment that I got my admission. Then we applied for my student loan, and then I was able to go for a visa interview with a couple days of coaching with Mr. Bob Mwiti, who helped me a lot, who made sure that my visa got approved for the first time. It was actually my first time going to the embassy, and it went well, and I managed to get here. So I started my semester in August last year. We started at around the end of August, and then the classes have been good. The course has been easy. The school has been very supportive, like getting accommodation, getting started with classes, even the pocket money to buy most of the stuff. Like when you get here, you have to get yourself a new phone, you have to get yourself a laptop, and everything. The program like made sure that we had all we needed to get started with classes. So it has been easy. I've been exposed to a couple things at Grand Valley, being that I had a full graduate assistantship, which I had applied back in Kenya with the guidance from Wilfred and most of the students that were in Grand Valley. They guided me in applying for graduate assistantship. I applied and got a full graduate assistantship, which caters for my tuition as well as my living expenses. I get paid like a stipend at the end of the month that I can use to pay my rent and maybe cater for other bills. It is usually enough. So at my job at school, I work with the student services at the student services building, which is like the admission office. I am like a developer. I'm developing a non-based workflow system that is made to automate the records at the university, especially the registrar's office. So building a software from scratch, it wasn't an easy journey. I felt like giving up in my first semester, but with the resources that I had from my classes and everything, it became easy, and I'm making a good progress. So far, I'm like 3/4 away to making the software accessible to the school, something that I've worked independently without guidance from anyone because the person that used to do the job wasn't there. And so I had like choose the skills that I had to build the software to automate the process. Yeah, my typical day as a graduate assistant is like it is my supervisor allows me to be very flexible, so I work on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So when like basically on my job is like working with the database and also using the Highland software to make sure that I bring in all the university records and make sure that they are automated. Basically, I'm developing a workflow that will help students make applications for refunds. So on my typical day, I work like 20 hours a week. So the school allows me like to be very flexible. I work on the days that I don't have classes, and most of my classes they start at night, but I end up like I work during the day because my classes are around 6. So a typical day is just basically being on the computer, attending a couple meetings with my supervisor and the faculty to brief them on my progress. Yeah, it is a full graduate assistantship which pays for my tuition for a year. So during my second semester, during my second year, like from fall this year, I had talked to my supervisor and asked whether they'll be extending the graduate assistantship to extend to my second year, and she told me that if they happen to get funding, I will continue. But they offered me to work during summer, so I'll be working in the same role, like continuing with my system. But chances are high that my graduate assistantship will be renewed for the next semester. I have not paid anything since I got
Since
here.
you came?
Yeah, and for my student loan, like when it arrived, because I was being paid enough money to cater for my living expenses, I refunded the money back to Empower.
Oh, really?
So the loan that I'll be paying to Empower for now is just $2,000. That's all I have, and I have already started paying.
That's so amazing. That's
Yeah.
so amazing.
I think the stipend is around, for me, it's around $825 a month. So if you equate that to Kenyan shillings, it's more than 100,000. Yeah,
It's
per
more than
month.
100,000.
Yeah, per month. Yeah.
Wow. That's quite an amount for you.
Yeah. While back in Kenya, like after I joined the program offers training programs on Udemy where you can take programming classes. There are a couple classes where you can learn how to program, how to work with different, how to work with on websites, and how like basically how to use like Excel and a couple other stuff that someone can use to build a software. So I took those classes back in Kenya before relocating. So when I got here and started working on the system automation that I am doing currently, I had like the basics on how to work to do like coding, to do basic coding and everything. So it has been very easy for me because I also reached out to Bob Mwiti when I got here when I had challenges with my GA, and he referred me to a website where I could get training manuals for the software that I was for the program that I was automating, and it has been very helpful. Basically, I would say in my undergraduate, I never did anything to do with IT. I only started doing stuff with IT when I joined the program, and I found it to be a very fascinating field, which has a lot of opportunities, and it has helped me, like in my graduate assistantship, do a lot of stuff. Yeah.
You're watching Success with Bob Mwiti Show, presented to you by Upstech America. Upstech America is a consulting company that helps immigrants find amazing higher education and job opportunities in the tech industry in the United States. You can find our programs by going to www.upstechamerica.com. Upstech America, we wake you up to the unlimited potential.
I would say data science and analytics it is a good field, but you need the basics in programming. Like in Python, you have to be good at one of the languages, especially Python. So to overcome that challenge, I wasn't so good because even after taking the courses on the website on Udemy, I wasn't so good. So I enrolled for a Python programming class when I got to GPSU on my first semester as a prerequisite, which I learned like how to code. I learned like a lot of stuff about coding, and it was very helpful. But basically about data science, if you want to come to this field, you have to be very ready to learn. But the master's program itself, it has like programs like working with a language like R, programming R. The program has courses that teach you from scratch on how to use R. For a language like SAS, programming in SAS, they will teach you like everything. So actually, I would say it is not so hard as much as you're willing to learn and you're a fast learner and you invest your time, because we only attend classes like once per week for every course, and it's just 3 hours. So the rest of the work is up to you to go online, access materials, do a lot of research. But our professors have been very, very helpful. They have like office hours, so you can always reach out in case there's something that you don't understand with your homework, your assignments, and everything. It makes it very, very, very easy. So I would say it is a good field. You will get exposed to a lot of programming material, a lot of statistics, a lot of everything to do with IT. Yeah. In my first semester, I did a programming course in Python. It entails like where you learn how to program with Python. Then I also took a course in statistics and graphics, statistical programming and graphics, which entails like programming in R. But it is easy because the professors teach you how to use the R software using the R Studio. I also took a course in internship, seminar internship, whereby the course like taught us on how to look for internship which areas to look for, which industry as a data scientist should focus on. The course also taught us how to write our resume and cover letter in the American style. That is why I learned like your CV is supposed to be only one page. So it's been very helpful. Then on this semester, I'm taking a course in machine learning. I'm also taking a course in statistics whereby I'm programming with SAS, and also another course in knowledge discovery and data mining. We're still using R software. Yeah.
Oh, amazing, amazing.
So I would tell someone who is like planning to come here, they should embrace themselves with Python and R. Those are basically the two languages that as a data scientist you should be good at. My experience so far has been amazing. I am living my future. This is the life that I wanted. Like everything around me makes me feel like this is where I wanted to be. This is where I should have been all along. And then with the skills that I'm acquiring, they are very beneficial because the whole world is moving towards IT and things like ChatGPT, which just like came up the other day. I would love like to work with on an AI like that as a data analyst. So to build a model that can do the same job, particularly in the course that I'm taking as a machine learning, it is actually giving us like ideas on how to work on stuff like that. After my I'd love like to work with clinical data basically because as a data analyst, that is a field that makes me feel like I can analyze a lot of clinical data by working with pharmaceutical companies. I think that is what I want to do, and that is where I'm looking for my internship at. Yes, I've started looking for internship. It is not promising at the moment, but I'm just submitting my application and narrowing my search to companies that do sponsorship. So that is what I'm looking at. So applying for data analyst position, applying since I have worked on a software, I can apply for jobs as a software developer. Yeah. I can't even think of any. It's just that at the start, it was just my graduate assistantship which gave me challenges at the start. But when I realized how I can work on it, everything became easy. Things to do with living expenses and things to do with school and everything. It's been manageable. It's something that I can manage. Yeah, and also life around here is not that expensive. It is affordable. And then when I came, like the school provided like there are school buses that like move you from one class to another from your house to school, so moving around wasn't hard. Even during winter you can take a bus which brings you home, or if you have a car you can move around, so it's been easy. I can't complain about anything. My first car, I'm still in the market looking. I haven't found the specific car that I want, but I'll be getting one very soon. I had like when I came here, I did like the food here because I thought it was terrible, but with time, when I learned like this is where I'm gonna be, so I just started loving it, and everything is falling into place. So I prefer American food. I prefer Kenyan food. It all depends with wherever I am. First, I would say I was excited to see the snow because it was my first time. It was very exciting. It was very vaccinating. I just like want to go out there, maybe jump on the snow, like walk around. But with time, it started like getting boring because when it came like every day, and you have to put on like warm clothes. But so far, I like it when it snows. It's not that bad. As much as you put on like warm clothes, you put on your gloves, you put on your hat, and then you don't stay in the cold for long. I mean, it just works well. Okay, I did actually talk about where I come from. I'm from Kitui. I'm from a family of four, and I am the firstborn. And I grew up without parents. I'm a total orphan. I didn't have anyone to support me. Like knowing about Kenya Lift program, it just changed my life because I didn't know whether I would have come here. Yeah, my siblings they're still in college, so while here I'm able to give them much more support than I could back in Kenya. They're still in college and they're pursuing their studies. So being the firstborn is a huge responsibility on me. So I have no option but to make it here. I think looking back to where I came from and here, like I struggled as a child growing up without parents. I grew up with my grandmother and my uncle, who took me to high school and schooled me all the way to campus. But he did have much to give me because he was just like a carpenter. He did have a good job, so life was hard. growing up without literally anything, having people come in and support you, like having no one to count on. It was very, very hard. I didn't know whether this would have happened, so it was very sad.
It's a great achievement. I know.
Yeah, and I like I struggled so much even to come here. Like when I first like heard about the program, I was like I talked to my friends and family about it, and they were like, that is a scam, because one of my friends, like I talked to them and asking them whether they could help me raise the program, the membership fee for the program, which is very little amount of money. But they were like, you have to call the embassy and verify if the program existed. I did that. It was very dumb of me, but I did that to verify if the program was real, because I joined back in 2018. In 2019, that is when I joined. So they discouraged me. Everyone was like, that is not real. You're just like, your dream is just like too big, you can't achieve it. But I spoke to Kiongora, and he told me, DMK Kiongora, he told me like this money is something that I can raise. It took me almost a year, because the job that I was in Kenya, I would not lie, I was being paid 20,000 a month, and I had bills, I had brothers to take care of. So raising that much money wasn't very easy on your own. Nobody gave me a penny, because I didn't have anyone to give me. My advice would be to advise someone who is out there and looking for a way that they can change their life from just leading a normal life. I would tell them to just come over here and study their master's program, to join Kenya Airlift program. You don't have to be from a rich family. You don't have to have a rich relative here in America, because I didn't know anyone when I came here. You don't need like to be like in a very good job or a very fancy job to come here and study your master's. I would advise you, like, just give it a shot. The program has all the resources to support you. The program offers you support to even get a job. When you come to US, they make sure you are employed at all the time. The program ensures that you get all the support you need. They'll pay for your air ticket, they'll pay for your first rent, they'll help you look for accommodation. Like, there's nothing to worry about. If you're a graduate and you're out there back in Kenya and you're wondering what you're doing, I think this is the right program. Yeah, it will change your life. It has changed my life. I've been able to support my family. Like, I no longer worry about basic stuff that I used to worry about. My family doesn't have to worry about basic stuff. I can do projects back home. Even with the money that I'm earning here, I can do projects. I can save up and do whatever I want. Yeah, and even being here itself it just changes your thinking and everything. Like, it is different. Yeah, it is different.
You have been watching Success with Bob Mwiti Show, brought to you by Upstake America. Come back again next time to learn concepts, tools, strategies, and resources on the path of becoming a successful immigrant in USA through real-life experiences. Be sure to subscribe to Bob Mwiti channel on YouTube, and also follow him on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn.